Hello everyone, Kyprotonic here once again. I have another narrated Pokemon Wi-Fi battle, and this one is against an opponent called NightmareFang, which took place I think over the weekend at some point. Anyway, quickly looking at our teams, I kind of have like a newish rain team. I kind of have like I think like a standardish Politoed, which is more defensive. My Stealth Rock Jirachi, Choice Scarf, Moxie Gyarados, Tentacruel, which is Toxic Spikes, Rapid Spin support, Landorus is Choice Specs, and I think Mamoswine is Choice Banded. The opponent actually had quite, not many threats, just more like annoyance of Pokemons, to be honest, overall. So, I'm actually going to lead out with my Politoed because I figured, you know, he doesn't have any fun days or any annoying days with any of his rain or even sun or even sand inducers. So, yeah, I get up the rain to begin with. I'm going to switch out, I'm going to go into my Jirachi because I figured it's kind of like a save point to get up my Stealth Rocks. Considering he didn't have a Rapid Spin supporter, that Dragonite is probably going to be a multi-scale because everybody runs that these days. So it was kind of like useful to try and get up my Stealth Rock at that point. So I'm going to switch out here, I'm going to go into Gyarados. I'm going to make another prediction. I kind of thought he would go into his Jolteon because, you know, he does have the Reflect Up, but even an Earthquake at that point would have done significant damage. He decides to stay in, go with Jaraball, so I kind of have to switch out there. So I'm going to go into Tentacruel at this point, and Tentacruel can pretty much wall it now because he doesn't actually have any former moves that can actually overly hurt me. So yeah, I'm going to get up one layer of Toxic Spikes, and at this point I'm just going to go for the Protect just to scout what he wants to try and do. I don't know what type of Jolteon it is to begin with, and then I see a Thunder Wave, which was a little bit surprising because, you know, you don't really see Thunder Wave in Jolteon, you kind of see like a more offensive, but you know, it could still be offensive with the Thunder Wave support, I guess, but whatever. I think that move that we saw just then was the Electro Ball. I don't know what its base power is. Probably it's something I don't really come across too often, or even at all, if I have to be perfectly honest. So he's gonna switch out, gonna go straight into his Suicune. This thing kind of a little bit scared me just because if it's a Calm Mind resting talk, like Suicune for example, then it could be a bit of a pain to deal with because considering his Bronzong actually does have the light screen support and Suicune is naturally bulky and like using Calm Mind is definitely gonna, you know, keep this thing around a lot longer than I usually would like to intend to do. So I get off a Rapid Spin just to blow away the Stealth Rock just in case if I really want to bring in Gyarados at some point again during this game. Gyarados will take about, I don't know, about 25% HP damage wise for every time it switches in, so Rapid Spin's quite good there. I'm going to go into my Politoed because I figured he might not be one of those like offensive type of Suicune with the Calm Mind support, because I kind of thought maybe he was more defensive with like the rest combination. So here at this point I go for the Perish Song just because eventually if he wants to try and stay in and, you know, start setting up a few more Calm Minds if that was his intention, eventually he'll have to switch out or he'll lose his Suicune. So he decides to switch out straight away, go straight into his Bronzong, and yeah, I'm going to have to switch out once again. I'm going to go into my Tornadoes. I actually make a massive misclick here. I meant to click U-turn because I was going to go for the U-turn just to, you know, switch out there. I'm going to go into something else because with him getting the light screen support and there's nothing really I can actually hit him with, and I don't want to take any form of damage with the Jaraball because, yeah, it'll be normal effective to my Tornadoes, and it probably will take a lot of damage due to the natural power of the Jaraball based on the description of the move and how it works throughout the game. So I go straight into my Tentacruel. He decides to switch out himself. I'm going to go into Dusknoir, which was kind of like, whatever, I'm going to stay in here just to see what he wants to try and do. That is more than likely to be carrying, like, probably Plane Split. That would be an interesting move. More like the Pain Split. But then he shows me Thunder Punch, which I was like, oops. Not going to be liking taking all those damages, wise. You know, like, physical moves is not something Tentacruel rarely likes to take too often, but yeah, whatever. So all the toxic damage is racking up on the Dusknoir. He decides to switch out once again. Probably wants to try and keep that. And I go for another Protect just to be cheeky because I figured if he wants to try and go for another Thunder Punch before he dies, then he might try and do that. But yeah, I did actually have two options there. I could have gone for the Boiling Water because I think I was faster than the Dusknoir initially, so whatever. So I'm going to bring in my Jirachi because considering I've actually seen one of its moves, I think which was like Hidden Power, I go into Jirachi just because it's more specially defensive. Then I get to see is actually Hidden Power Grass, so whatever. Yeah, so I'm going to take that Hydro Pump pretty well while I get up a Wish because... yeah, because, you know, Suicune's quite offensive from what I noticed earlier on with it Calm Mind, and, you know, it's probably going to be carrying the free attack moves. So that's kind of like a pre-4th, no, not pre-4th gen, but it's actually like a 4th gen move I used to use myself ages ago. So, yeah, I get up the Wish, get all the HP back. I go for the Iron Head just because I figured I would be faster than the Suicune. So I go for try and get the flinch on it, and yeah, like down goes that. He now then decides to bring his Dusknoir in, and that's just going to die to another Iron Head because I'm obviously going to be faster. And now in comes the Bronzong. I go into my Gyarados. I should have probably just switched in Landorus, not Landorus, sorry, my Tornadus, because, yeah, I could have actually gone for, like, maybe a Focus Blast. And, you know, before him setting up the Light Screen, I thought maybe he was going to go for Light Screen first, you know, but considering that none of my physical moves with the Jirachi at that point would have been hurting him at all, so... yeah, whatever. Gyarados is going to go for the Waterfall. It's going to do something, it's going to hurt something a little bit because, you know, it's an adamant Gyarados in the rain, so the Waterfall is going to get a little bit of a boost, but in comes this Scrafty thing, and this thing does actually carry the Shed Skin, so that's going to actually take away the Toxic from it, and yeah, this thing's just going to be a little bit annoying to deal with because... you know, like the Light Screen is still up. I kind of should be like going into my Tornadoes, trying to smack it with the Hurricane or the Gale, which is probably because I'm still using the pre-general Japanese version, so whatever with that. Yeah, so it kind of gets a little bit like to the point where the game comes down to me just trying to kill off this thing, but like in slow motion style. I mean, I could have gone into something that would have easily scared it out. I just was a little bit worried that maybe he would crit me with something, and with all these bulk ups, and he might be carrying like the priority move at some point with his Scrafty. So I decided just to stay in here with my Tentacruel, just trying to see if I can actually get a burn on this thing at some point. You know, I think all the times that I was using the Boiling Water, I actually turned out not to get one burn, I think. I think I might get one burn in an upcoming move, but like prior to that, I didn't. Although it does have the Shed Skin, but you know, residual damage is always nice to rack up on that thing. So eventually, I do get up the burn, and yeah, he goes for another bulk up for some reason. I thought maybe he might have continued to attack, but then I guess he probably predicted the burn to come at some point himself, and maybe that was kind of the reason, but... with my Tentacruel kind of at lower HP, the Drain Punch is not going to be giving it back too much HP due to also I'm resisting the move. So yeah, I'm just trying to whittle it down as much as possible. He eventually now decides to switch out and go into the Dragonite. So I'm just going to go for the Boiling Water and I don't get a burn. So that's kind of sad. But a good thing is now I can actually stay in here. Because I predict if he wants to kill me off, then he'll have to do that. Or whether he wants to try and set up a Dragon Dance. I'm just going to go for the Boiling Water. If I get the burn, that's great. The only thing the Gyarados will be getting is just some extra speed over anything else, really. But, I mean, I do have the priority Mamoswine with the Ice Shard. That's actually kind of mouthful there. Mamoswine with the Ice Shard for some reason. So, yeah. I'm going to go into Jirachi just to see what he wants to try and do. I kind of thought maybe he would lock himself into the Outrage, because I don't expect Dragonite these days to be carrying the Earthquake. I'm not saying they don't carry it, but I just don't see it that often. So here I'm going to go into my Mamoswine, because I figured he might go set up another Dragon Dance. Because also, one or two things, he's not going to be well, he will be faster, but I'm going to be carrying the priority Ice Shard, and that will definitely scare off the Dragonite. But it turns out he wants to try and stay in here like a champ, and that's not going to work. So I'm just going to go for the Icicle Spear, and that's easily going to take out the Dragonite in one hit, because, you know, Icicle Spear with a Choice Banded Adamant. Mamoswine is a beast. So the Scrafty comes in. I kind of predicted maybe the priority Mach Punch, I thought maybe I would be slower than the thing, and if it pulls off a Drain Punch at some point, you know, it's going to be getting back all the HP that I kind of have. So yeah, it was kind of a risky play to switch out, but you know, it was probably the more sensible move to do. So I take it out after he uses Dragon Tail, and that's the end of the game near enough, because he's going to decide to run. So thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, do the comment stuff, and in the near future I'll have another video for you guys to watch. So thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.